Hey guys, welcome back to the Comic Book Lowdown. I'm Wellington. Gonna bring you guys the Pool Week video for this week. Got how many books I got? 1, 2, 3. Got six books to review. Kind of tired. Just woke up, and I was at like a party for one of my friends last night, so I got home pretty late, and yeah. Just waking up to do this review, and so sorry if I'm sounding a little tired, whatnot. Just waking up, so it's all good. We're just gonna jump right into it, but before we do, actually, remember, or at least if you're new to my videos, I review everything from what I like the least to my pick of the week, and timestamps are below for any reviews you would like to see. Below in the description box, that is. And yeah, so now we'll get started with the first book. I really liked every book this week, so that's a really good thing. I don't like buying books that I end up not liking, as most people do. Or don't do. However the syntax of that sentence works. But the first book is Captain America issue number 14, which has a really cool cover. And I know some people haven't been liking the Nuke character. I was introduced to him a while ago, when I read Daredevil Born Again. He's in that book, and you know, I got this light in my face, so that's why it looks like all weird on my face. But yeah, there we go. Anyways, he's in Daredevil Born Again. He's kind of like, Kingpin puts him in place to take Daredevil's spot, and there's this whole big thing. So when I read that, I was like, wow, this character is pretty cool. So when he was in Captain America, I was really excited. And this issue was really good because it was just fighting pretty much throughout the entire issue, but it's like it was something more than just fighting. It was Captain America pretty much, it was him trying to, like, I don't know how to say it. I mean, Nuke is pretty much overpowering Captain America, and he's doing it in the name of America, and he's killing all these people in the name of America. And as you know, that doesn't fly well for Captain America. I mean, Captain America, you don't kill innocents and stuff. And this just all out enrages him. And we get to see a part of Steve Rogers that I don't think we've ever seen, because he kind of loses it, and what he starts doing is like really, really crazy, and then like the follow-up of it from Nuke is kind of like, man, you end up actually feeling sorry for Nuke at the end of this issue, and it's like Rick Remender did a great job at, you know, really kind of switching roles really quick on the characters, to where, you know, you kind of see Captain America brutalizing this character who, I mean, deserves every bit of it, but then you still feel sorry for the character, and you still look at Captain America in a different light. So props to Rick Remender for doing such a good job with that. This issue is pretty good, and again, I love that cover. Next book, Batman issue number 26. A lot of people have not been liking Zero Year. I understand that now, but I have been liking it, and I think that this issue is pretty interesting, or not pretty interesting. It was actually pretty cool. There was a lot more action than once you kind of sit back and take it all in. There's a lot of action in this book. We kind of pick up from the last issue where Lucius Fox kind of injected Bruce Wayne with something, but we come to find out that he's actually helping Bruce Wayne not turn into a monster whose bones never stop growing, just like that Helfrin guy, Dr. Helfrin. I think his name is Kane. I can't remember the guy's first name, but he's kind of the first villain that we see here. He goes by the name Death, so that's what I call him. And he kind of his back and forth with Lucius Fox and Bruce Wayne, and kind of what he does, to him. It's a brutal character. I don't ever remember seeing him before, so he might be new, but definitely a brutal character. And it's just an extra thing that Batman has to worry about during the Zero Year besides the Riddler. And just the way that this issue progresses with a bunch of stuff with Jim Gordon, kind of see Jim Gordon in a different light in his early career. And we get a little more background as to their relationship, their Bruce and Jim Gordon's what's the word? Their bad relationship to in the start, like ever since Bruce was a kid. I couldn't think of the word I was really thinking of, so I used the word bad. But anyways, yeah, this book was pretty good. I really liked how it ended. It was like, I can see how Bruce gets out of the situation he's in, but it's like also a pretty bad situation at the same time. So, yeah, there's that. Batman issue number 26. Pretty good issue. I just, I wish people could see my points the same way as I do. More people, that is, because I know there are some people who are enjoying Zero Year. But next book, Amazing Spider-Man issue 700.2. I didn't get 700.1, which is the start of this story, which actually makes it shocking that this book beat two other books, and almost a third book in my kind of roster of books. It's a simple story. It's pretty much, and Grade A Comics, Scott Grady, he's said before, he said he's not gonna pick up this book because it's all just stories that we've seen before. And yeah, I agree. We've seen this story before. The story is Spider-Man is in New York's worst snowstorm, and the power goes out, and he has to get to Aunt May to help her. But all these I wouldn't say crimes, but all these situations are happening where he has to stop and help people, and he has to make a decision whether to either get to Aunt May and save his aunt, and then let all those people die, or if he's gonna save all those people and then let his aunt die. We've seen it before. It's been stories dating back to Stan Lee's writing, so we've seen it before. The reason that this book gets so high, or as high as it does on my list, first of all, the art is great. The writing, the dialogue, and all that stuff, I love it. And just because it's been so long since I've seen Peter Parker in just a traditional Spider-Man story. Marvel Knights Spider-Man, it does not give me my fill of Peter Parker because I don't know what's going on. That book is really crazy. This book finally gives me a feel of, this is Spider-Man, this is the Amazing Spider-Man, this is Peter Parker, and this is what I love. And so that's why this book gets so high on my countdown. And the cover's amazing as well. That's really all I have to say about that. Can't remember if there was a story at the end. So let me check that. Just because I read all my books yesterday. I usually like to read my books right before I review them, but I didn't get the chance. But yeah, there's no second story in this, so in another one there is. But we'll get to that in a bit. Next book, it definitely fought. Well, actually, you know what? This book is definitely in the spot that it deserves to be in. It's Nova issue number 11. Again, great covers. And this is the start of Jerry Duggan's arc. Or not his arc, but his writing. And Paco Medina is still on it. And I know some people didn't like his art, but I've always loved his art. This continues Jerry Duggan's story that he started in the 10th issue, which was the 100th issue of Nova. In that issue, kind of, Nova was he's fighting, he's protecting some alien people from like these killer whales and like space killer whales. So he's protecting people from that, and as he's coming back to Earth, he kind of is like blinded. He's literally blinded, and he sees all these flashes of light. And he continues to just see flashes of light in the same patterns, like always, and he can't see. And that happens at the end of the story that Dugan wrote in the 10th issue. In this issue, we kind of start with Sam and his mom at the doctor's, and kind of trying to understand why he's blind. And it's kind of just what they call an optical migraine, you know, just some standard stuff. What I love about this book is that it's so down to earth for a book that's supposed to be a cosmic book, and that's kind of what I like about it. Like, I don't usually go for books that are cosmic books, like just always in space and too sci-fi and stuff. But this book gives me that cosmic element plus the down-to-earth element that I love in my books. And so, you know, that's a major plus as to why I read this and why I love it so much. And it's such a good family book. You know, you got Sam, he has to deal with his problems. He's still dealing with, you know, bullies picking on him because his dad's the janitor, and also his dad has left now, and so, you know, kids are like, you know, your janitor dad left you guys, and, you know, there's a big mess in the bathroom that he hasn't cleaned up, and it's growing legs and all this kind of stuff. And, you know, he's scrappy, so, of course, he fights the guy, gets in trouble, and you know, all these things, and it's kind of, he has like bad days all the way up till he can become Nova. But in school, in one of his classes, they're talking about maps, and that's where he realizes these flashing lights in his eyes all the time is actually a map. And he then dons the mantle of Nova and goes to space, sees that the lights that he sees align with some stars, and then he goes to those stars, and what he finds there, what every light represents, is really bad. Yeah, it's really bad, and that's where this book was just like, whoa, you know, that's really cool that you guys did that, and the next issue of this and the, you know, future issues of this are going to be really cool to see what happens. So, you know, Nova issue number 11, I really love the book Nova. It's awesome. I know a lot of other people in my last time I talked about Nova came out of the woodwork and were like, you know, I read Nova too. So I'm glad we got this Nova community going on. But there's that. That's Nova issue number 11. Next book, Amazing Spider-Man issue 700.3. This has a really cool cover as well. Really simple. But the story inside is so cool. The story inside I've never seen. It might have been done before, but I've never seen it, so that's what I really like about it. It really is about, you hear superheroes talk about, and I think it's been Batman. He's talked about, it's gonna happen one day, whether it's the Joker or Two-Face or just some punk that gets lucky. I'm gonna go down one day, and that's kind of what happens to Spider-Man in this. It's after he's coming home from I think it was a big Thanksgiving dinner, and so he's full and it's late at night, so he's kind of tired, and then he ends up running into a villain named Firebrand, kind of a C-list, D-list villain, but powers of fire and stuff, and Spider-Man comes to mentions on any regular day, I'll take this guy out in less than a minute. But now he's all groggy and he's tired and he's full. He's having some trouble, and then Firebrand gets the best of him and completely just burns all of his body, big time. And what the story ends up being about is where do villains go? What hospital do they go to when they get beat up by the superhero so much? So those paramedics for that hospital, the villain's hospital, come to pick up Firebrand, and then they find Peter Parker, not knowing that he's Spider-Man. They pick him up too, and they help him. They give him surgery. They do all this stuff, and then for the rest of the issue, Peter is stuck in this hospital, and it's worse when he finds out what the hospital actually is, and he's with all these villains. He's with Shocker, he's with Firebrand still, he's with some other villains, and it's just they're asking him questions like, oh, what'd you do to get here? Who'd you fight and things like that, and it's I'm the hero, and he's amongst all these villains that could easily take advantage of him because he's in a wheelchair, and he's all bandaged up because he's all burned. And so this story was really, really interesting. There's a backup story into here about Black Cat. It's all right. It's not too great. The main story is the one that's really awesome and almost made this my pick of the week. But final book is just too good, and I think this was my only $2.99 issue this week, and it was my pick of the week. So think about that. This is Superior Foes of Spider-Man issue number 6. Again, great covers on this book, and I love this book, man. We don't get much Shocker in this issue, but last issue he actually found the head of Silvio Superman, but we find out that the real prize was a painting of a maskless Doctor Doom, and we know that Boomerang had stolen the painting while kind of setting up Beetle, Speed Demon, and Overdrive, where now they're captured by the Owl and gonna be killed and stuff, while Fred, Boomerang, is kind of chilling at home, and he goes to a baseball game with that one girl, and their date is pretty funny. It's just back and forth, emotional roller coaster of a date. He's a douchebag. There's a lot of things that happen in this issue that I don't want to go into great detail with, but it all just works so good. The comedy is great, and the storyline is just really, really good. And then when we get to the end of this issue, it's like, whoa, I didn't know that that was gonna happen. I was not expecting that to happen, and you kind of say that twice in like within like 2 panels. So a short review for this one, but because there's so much that happens and because it's just so good that I won't do it justice in talking about it too much. This is my pick of the week. This is the best book I read this week. You gotta be picking up Superior Foes of Spider-Man. It's a great book. It's a great read. And it's about villains that nobody cares about. So, that's the final book. That means that's it for me. Got nothing else to say, so I'm Wellington signing off for Comic Book Lowdown. See you guys next time.